Before we begin, your support means everything to me. If you're new here, join our little story family, hit subscribe, and feel every emotion with us. My wife said she needed space. I didn't know she meant someone else's arms. The night she packed her small suitcase, she didn't cry. She didn't even look at me. She just whispered, "I need space. I don't know who I am anymore." And like a fool, I believed her. I stood there in the doorway, watching the woman I loved walk out of our home with the same calmness someone uses to step out for fresh air. No anger, no guilt, just distance. But my hands were shaking. My heart was hammering. Something inside me felt wrong, like the truth was hiding in the shadows. Watching me crumble, 2 days later, I found it. Not by snooping, not by accident, but because she forgot one thing people who lie always leave loose ends. Her tablet lit up while I was cleaning the living room. A message preview slid down the screen. "I miss your arms already." Last night felt like home. My breath froze. My knees almost buckled. Her space wasn't space at all. It was another man's bed. I remember staring at that message, the room spinning, my lungs refusing to work. I felt betrayal, humiliation, and a rage so cold it felt calm. But I didn't scream. I didn't call her. I didn't tell a soul. Because in that moment, something else rose inside me. A plan. A quiet, controlled, devastating plan. And that message? That was just the beginning. Before everything fell apart, our life was simple, comfortable, almost peaceful in a way that feels unreal now. We had been married for 6 years, and people used to call us the steady couple. Not dramatic, not perfect, just steady. Every morning, she'd be in the kitchen before me, hair tied up, humming some random tune while pouring coffee into our mismatched mugs. The ones we bought on a trip to the mountains, she always chose the blue mug, even though she said she didn't have a favorite. I knew she did. She'd smile at me over the rim of her cup, a sleepy little smile that made the entire day feel lighter. I thought that smile was mine. I thought her mornings were mine. Our weekends were slow, grocery runs, lazy breakfasts, arguments about which movie to watch. The soft kind of laughter couples fall into without trying. She'd rest her feet on my lap while scrolling through her phone, and I'd pretend not to notice how cold they were. We had dreams to a bigger apartment, maybe a dog, maybe a kid someday if life stayed kind. I held onto those dreams like anchors. I didn't realize she had already let go. Looking back, the signs were their quiet shifts, distant glances, the way her hugs became but love makes you blind. And I loved her too much to see the storm coming. The first red flag wasn't loud. It didn't scream or break anything. It whispered. One evening, she came home later than usual. Nothing dramatic, just an hour past her normal time. But she walked in with a smile that didn't reach her eyes, like she'd practiced it in the car. She smelled different too. Not her usual soft vanilla, something sharper, unfamiliar, a scent that didn't belong to our home or her office. I remember asking gently, "Long day?" She nodded too quickly. "Yeah, just needed some air." Air. That word stuck in my head like a splinter. Later that night, I noticed her phone always left on the counter was now glued to her hand. A new password, screen always facing down. Maybe I'm overthinking, I told myself. Maybe it was just stress. Maybe it was just life shifting slightly the way marriages do. But something in my chest tightened whenever she laughed at her screen. Something I couldn't explain. We all ignore the signs at first. We tell ourselves it's nothing because the truth feels too heavy to carry. So I smiled, pretended everything was normal, and convinced myself I was imagining things. But deep down, a quiet voice whispered, "You're not wrong. Something is changing." Suspicion doesn't hit all at once. It drips, slowly, steadily, like water leaking through a ceiling you keep pretending isn't there. It started with her phone. She began carrying it everywhere, to the bathroom, to the laundry room, even when she went to get a glass of water. Before, she'd leave it charging on the table for hours. Now, it never left her hand. Then came the notifications, or rather, the lack of them. All turned off, all hidden. One night around 11 p.m., she sat at the edge of the bed, lit only by her screen. I watched her from under half-closed eyes. Her lips curved into a soft smile, the kind she used to give me. A warm, private smile. My stomach dropped. "What's funny?" I asked. Sitting up, she flinched, then forced a laugh. "Oh, just a meme," Mia sent. But her tone was sharp, defensive. And Mia hadn't texted her in weeks. The next morning, I found a shirt of hers with a scent on it. Again, that same sharp, unfamiliar cologne. Not perfume, cologne. I told myself I was imagining things. That stress was playing tricks on me. But by then, the truth had already begun to surface. And it was only a matter of time before it broke through completely. The truth didn't explode into my life. It slipped in quietly, like a knife sliding between ribs. She had gone out for fresh air again. I stayed home, pretending to watch TV, pretending not to drown in my thoughts. When I went to tidy the living room, I saw her tablet lying on the couch screen still glowing. She never left anything unlocked anymore. Never. But this time, it was open. My hands hesitated. My heart didn't. I picked it up and there it was, a chat window. Still active, a message at the top. "I made it home. I already miss your arms." I felt the blood drain from my face. I scrolled, slowly, painfully. More messages. More words that weren't meant for me. Tonight felt perfect. I wish I could fall asleep beside you again. He thinks I need space. I just need you. My vision blurred. My breath hitched. The room spun like I was standing on the edge of a cliff. I had seen enough. More than enough. My fingers went numb as I set the tablet down, as if it were burning my skin. The silence in the house felt different, heavier, colder, final. And in that moment, something inside me cracked. That was the night I stopped being her husband. I didn't sleep that night. Not a second. I sat at the dining table, the tablet in front of me, like a loaded weapon. The sky outside slowly shifted from black to gray, and with it, something inside me hardened. At 6:42 a.m., the door unlocked. She stepped in quietly, thinking I was still asleep. Her hair was messy, jacket half-zipped, cheeks flushed in a way that made my stomach twist. She froze when she saw me. I didn't shout, didn't slam the table, didn't throw anything. I simply slid the tablet toward her. So, my voice sounded unfamiliar, hollow. Whose arms were you in last night? Her lips parted, not to deny it, but to search for a lie she couldn't form fast enough. She swallowed. Her eyes darted away. Her hands trembled as she set down her keys. It's not what you think, she whispered. I laughed. A short, broken sound. You said you needed space. I didn't know you meant someone else's bed. Her face collapsed. Guilt, fear, confusion, all fighting to surface. She opened her mouth again, but the words didn't come. That silence, that heavy, suffocating silence, it was the confession. I leaned back in my chair, every muscle stiff, every breath sharp. Just answer one thing, I said quietly. Were you ever planning to tell me? She closed her eyes, and whispered, the truth I already knew. No. After she confessed, something inside me didn't explode. It simply went quiet. A painful, heavy, echoing quiet. She tried to speak, stumbling over apologies, explanations, excuses that came too late and meant nothing now. But the strange thing was, I didn't feel anger anymore, just emptiness. I stood up slowly, walked to our bedroom, and pulled out a suitcase. My hands shook at first, then steadied. I can explain, she kept repeating, voice cracking. You already did, I said softly. I packed only what mattered, a few clothes. My documents, my old camera, the things that felt like me, not the version of me who waited at the door, not the version who trusted too easily. As I zipped the suitcase, she broke down, begging, promising she'd stop seeing him, promising she was confused, promising we could fix it. But for the first time in a long time, I felt clarity. You didn't lose me last night, I said. You lost me the moment you chose someone else. She sank to the floor, crying. I walked past her slowly, almost gently, and stepped outside. The air was cold, sharp, real. I had lost my marriage. But somewhere in that pain, I felt the first spark of something new. I didn't find revenge that day. I found myself. In the weeks that followed, people kept asking me the same question. Do you regret leaving? And every time I thought about the moment I walked out, the cold air on my face, the weight lifting off my chest, the silence that didn't hurt anymore. And the answer stayed the same. No. I regret staying long after she stopped loving me. The truth is, betrayal doesn't just break you. It reveals you. It shows you the parts of yourself you abandoned while trying to hold on to someone who is already gone. It forces you to face the hard truth we all avoid. Love is not supposed to make you feel small. It's not supposed to make you beg. It's not supposed to make you doubt your worth. For a long time, I blamed myself for not noticing sooner, for trusting too much, for believing her promises. But healing taught me something I wish I knew earlier. When someone chooses someone else, it's not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their character. People don't cheat because you're not enough. They cheat because they aren't enough, not strong enough, not honest enough, not brave enough to leave before breaking you. Now when I think about her, I don't feel anger. I feel distance. A quiet understanding that some endings are necessary, no matter how much they hurt. Sometimes, losing someone you love is the only way to find the version of yourself you should have been all along. And if you're listening to my story right now, maybe it's time to choose yourself too. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something like this, just know you're not alone, and you deserve better than broken promises. Tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were in my place? Your voice matters, and someone out there might need your perspective. If this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe and stay with me for more real, emotional journeys. Your support helps this community grow, and together we heal one story at a time.